Over the last few years, we've reviewed Dolomite shoes on both UKC and UKH, and each have received rave reports. However, until now, I hadn't got the chance to use any myself, and the Velocissima here was my first opportunity to give some a go. So the question is, what are they for? Now, the Velocissima is very much at the technical end of the approach shoe spectrum. So whilst they are designed with walking and comfort in mind, where these really excel is on that rocky, rough terrain, be that through scrambling, mountaineering, or even outright climbing. Now, to do each of these things well is really tricky. For the climbing, it's got a low profile and low volume, but reinforced toe box, so you can really cam your feet into cracks with no fear of it all squashing down around your feet. Its low profile midsole means that you always feel nice and close to the rock as well. It gives you more feel and sensitivity over what's beneath your feet. But finally, there is actually enough support within this to provide enough structure so that for all day use, it's still comfortable. It's light, but it's not too light. When it comes to sizing, it largely depends on what you're going to use it for. If you are going to be out for more technical use, things like the cooling ridge, it may be worth actually sizing ever so slightly down, simply because that way you get that most technical fit and feel. If you're looking for the approach or maybe a bit more of a balance, sizing it at around about your high street shoe size should be adequate. The fact that you've got this full length lacing down the front gives you a good amount of adjustability in terms of the volume, but it is quite low volume around the forefoot, and I would say of around about a regular to medium width. From the bottom, it's a tighter weave for extra durability, and on the uppers, it's a looser weave for more breathability. This sock construction is also largely stitch free, and that means there's not much to catch, there's not much to get loose, there's not much to unpick. These are, despite the fact that they are very light, also extremely durable as well. The other neat thing about this weave technology is that breathability I just mentioned. But what comes with that as well is they're also phenomenally quick drying as well. And if you're climbing, or if you're walking, or if you're approaching virtually anything in the British Isles, the chances are you will at some point get wet feet. The Velocissima features a Vibram Mega Grip sole in a particularly fetching lime fluoresco yellow colour. The climbing zone around the front helps provide extra precision on technical terrain, and the fact the shoe has enough structure means that you do get enough support through those. The rest of the sole features a chevron tread, and the only thing I missed is just a small heel, simply because for the UK again, if you're going down grassy banks, these flatter sole designs are not quite as good within that environment. However, they more than make up for it on outright rocky terrain. It's really hard to find fault with the Velocissima, and I absolutely loved it, particularly on technical terrain. It's light, 720 grams, it's no means heavy. However, it's not too light. It's still got adequate reinforcement, it's got a good sole, and it's got a reasonable amount of support for a shoe of its kind. Whilst I was worried that the weave technology might not provide the levels of durability, after many months of heavy use, I'm yet to see a single sign of wear, which is impressive. The one thing to look out for, as always with any shoe, is fit. For specifically climbing and scrambling and more technical use, it could be worth sizing them down a fraction smaller. If you have more hill walking or general approach in mind, perhaps size them that little bit larger.